Hey guys, in this book review, I'm going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time Out of the Past by Kalinda Vasquez. Once Upon a Time Out of the Past is the second graphic novel adaptation of the hit television series Once Upon a Time. In this installment, you go on 4 different journeys with some of the show's most popular characters. Join Killian Jones before he was Captain Hook as he goes on an adventure through the Leviathan Shoals. Watch Belle as she is reunited with someone through her past, but this person wants to hurt Rumpelstiltskin. Join Regina, the evil queen, as she is hunted down by someone from her past. And witness the origin story of Jefferson the Mad Hatter. I have also reviewed the very first graphic novel for Once Upon a Time called Shadow of the Queen, so I will also have a link at the very end of this video if you guys want to check that out as well. So yeah, like I said, this is the second graphic novel adaptation for this show, and I have just most anxiously been waiting for this second book. These graphic novels, they are definitely for die-hard fans, not just random casual viewers. They are literally for die-hard fans because they create additional stories as well as even kind of fill in plot details that the show had to take out for whatever reason. Like I said, this graphic novel, it tells 4 different stories from the show's most popular characters, that being Captain Hook, Belle and Rumpelstiltskin, Regina, and Jefferson, aka the Mad Hatter. And these are certainly some of my most favorite characters on the show, so yeah, I was definitely really looking forward to this, especially Jefferson's origin story. It also helps that one of the writers, I believe, of this book, Kalinda Vasquez, she is also a co-executive producer on the television series. So yeah, this stuff in this graphic novel are things that could have literally happened on the show, but didn't. You can treat this stuff as part of the canon. So yeah, the stuff in this, it was omitted from the show for whatever reason, maybe due to time constraints, maybe budget, or just it didn't fit within the current frame of what was going on in the current stories, or even if a character like Sebastian Stan, who played Jefferson, if an actor couldn't come back to the role for whatever reason. So yeah, these stories definitely just fill in little itty-bitty things. So just to talk about the graphic novel in general, I thought the writing was fine. I mean, it's nothing outstanding or spectacular. I mean, it is a graphic novel. There's only so much writing you can put on a page. Every single word has to count. But for the most part, the writing was fine. It sounded like what you would hear on the show, and it sounded like what you would hear coming out of these characters' mouths. But yeah, don't go into this graphic novel expecting the writing to be super amazing. I mean, there's only so much that can happen, and everything is really kind of rushed and a bit chaotic sometimes. So you kind of just gotta roll with it and fill in things as you go. So yeah, you're pretty much just thrown right into events, basically. Which is why I say you have to be a die-hard fan of the television series, so that way you can immediately kind of place these stories and place them in some sort of context in regards to what you've seen on the show. As for the artwork, moving on to the artwork in Out of the Past, I had some very similar issues like I did with Shadow of the Queen. In my review for Shadow of the Queen, I complained a lot about the fact that there was multiple different artists, and I didn't like the nature of having multiple artists. I didn't understand why they couldn't have just used one artist from start to finish. And that's very much the same thing that happens in Out of the Past. 4 different stories, 4 different artists. And for me personally, I kind of find that a bit distracting. I am someone who really just prefers one artist the whole way through. But in general, the artwork is fine, and the characters look like the characters, which is important. So if I had to go in order about what my favorite stories are, they would be as follows. My number 4 favorite story in this book belonged to Regina, the Evil Queen. I honestly kind of found her story a bit boring, honestly. And her story is also the most shortest out of the 4, so there's not really a lot going on there. And I found myself not liking the artwork of this one that much either. It's just too dark for me and too chaotic, and sometimes I had trouble figuring out what the hell was even going on half the time. At number 3 in terms of my favorite stories in this graphic novel, it goes to the story for Belle and Rumpelstiltskin. The artwork was really nice in this one. It had a very pastel sort of thing going on, very vibrant and pink. And in general, a really cute story because someone from Belle's past comes back and they're trying to kill the Dark One, and Belle has to side with her friend or with Rumpelstiltskin. My second favorite story goes to Killian Jones, aka Captain Hook, and his adventure through the Leviathan Shoals. I wasn't a big fan of the artwork in this one. There's something about it that's a bit too childish and a bit sloppy and not a heck of a lot of detail going on. But I still preferred the artwork in this one compared to Regina's, but more importantly, I definitely preferred this story compared to Regina's. There's just some really great twists that go on in this one. And my number 1 favorite story in this entire graphic novel goes to Jefferson, aka the Mad Hatter, and his origin story, which fills in mega tons of things that the show was never able to get to. I definitely really love the artwork in Jefferson's story. Very colorful, very vibrant, very easy to follow. Just everything about Jefferson's story, just wonderful writing, art, everything. So yeah, overall, that's all I have to say for this graphic novel. I just really enjoyed it, mostly just for Jefferson's story, which is well worth the price alone. Over at my TV review channel, I did a whole discussion video talking about Jefferson's origin story, so I'm going to leave a link down below if you want to check out my review and just an in-depth look at the entirety of Jefferson's story. So yeah, click that link down below if you want. So yeah, have you guys read Once Upon a Time Out of the Past? Do you plan on reading it? Have you collected any of the other Once Upon a Time books? Just let me know down below. So that's it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this book review, you may like these other book reviews. Bye guys.